Hello students, myself your SB ma'am. So today we are going to start Unit 5 Maui's Kite written by Thomas Anthony. So who was Thomas Anthony? His full name is Thomas Anthony Tommy de Paula, pronounced Tommy da Paula. He is an American writer and illustrator. He has written more than 200 children's books and is best known for books such as Stregonona and 26 Fairmount Avenue. He received the Children's Literature Legacy Award for his lifetime contribution to American children's literature in 2011. Before going to explain in detail, you have to know what type is this story. This story is a fable. Fable means a short tale that gives you a lesson, a moralistic lesson. So this story gives you a long-lasting social and ethical values. There are three main characters. First character is Maui. Second one, the keeper of the winds, and third character is the great four winds. Now let's know some word meanings that given at page number 41. First word Maui, pronounced as Maui. Tame, make something easy to control. Cross pieces, sticks crossed together to form the frame of the kite. Olona shrub, a Hawaiian plant known for its strong bark. Paraded, walked in a large group in an orderly fashion to celebrate. Approached, came near. Gourd, a fleshy vegetable with a thick skin. Now let's read this story line by line and then explain in detail. Long ago in Hawaii, people told stories to explain the wonders of nature. This story is about Maui, who wanted to tame the winds. One morning, Maui decided that he had to build a kite, and what a kite he built! His mother gave him her largest, strongest piece of cloth. For the cross pieces, he used sticks of bamboo and he cut branches from the Olona shrub to make a strong rope. Maui's kite was a work of art. He told himself, I must get a special wind to fly my kite. I will go to the keeper of the winds. She will let me have the perfect wind to make my kite fly really high. His friends happily gathered around to help him carry his kite to the keeper of the winds. As the group paraded through the village, everybody left their work and came to watch. So in these few paras, you already have known this story is about a Maui. The story of Maui. Maui is a small boy. One day he decided to make a special kite and he painted on it several arts. So that's why Maui's kite was a work of art. So naturally his mother gave him her largest, strongest piece of cloth for making this kite, and he used sticks of bamboo and he cut branches from the Olona shrub, and that shrub that is found in Hawaii, a Hawaiian shrub, bushes. So this it is known for its strong bark. So that's why he used this bark for making strong rope, and sticks of bamboo he used. And he will go to keeper of the winds because she wanted to make special wind for flying his kite, and his friends happily gathered around to help him carry his big kite to the keeper of the winds, and they went as like parrot. Parrot means they walked together, and that's why it is called parrot, and then the sound is produced, parrot like sound. And for the sound of their walking, all the villagers, everybody, they left their work and came to watch their parrot. When the group finally approached the cave of the winds, they could see the keeper of the winds sitting by the entrance. "O keeper of the winds," cried Maui, "please bring Ipulki, the small gourd that holds the gentle breezes, and let us fly our kite." The keeper was a wise old woman. She knew that the gentle winds of Ipulki would play kindly with the boy, so she went into her cave and returned carrying a small gourd and singing her song. So at last they reached at the cave of keeper of the winds, and they saw she was sitting by the entrance. Entrance means entering gate of this cave, and they requested to make a special wind for flying this kite. And at that time the keeper was wise old woman. She just entered into the cave again and returned again. She was carrying a small gourd and singing her song. Small gourd already word meaning has been given in your book. A fleshy vegetable with a thick skin, and at last you will see it produces a special wind. And how? Let's know. Let's learn few words given at page number 42. Everlasting, continuing forever. Drifted, slowly and steadily moved from one place to another. Soared, rose high into the air. Taken for granted, accepted and treated in a careless manner. Churning, moving round and round rather violently. Hasten, hurry. Now I am reading these passages at page number 42. O wind, soft wind of Hilo, wind from the gourd of everlasting winds, come from Ipulki. O wind, soft wind of Hilo, come gently, come mildly. The lid of the gourd began to stir, and the keeper carefully opened it. Slowly the soft wind of Hilo drifted out and tugged at the kite. Maui let out some cord, and he and his friends cheered as the kite soared like a great bird over the sea. The keeper stood silently and looked on with a smile. After a while, she said, "That's enough for today. The winds should not be taken for granted. They will respect you if you respect them." After a few moments of silence, Maui nodded and said, "Yes, O keeper of the winds, call your winds back to you." The woman now removed the lid from Ipulki. As the winds returned, the kite slowly dropped. Maui reeled in the line, caught the kite, and went back home with his friends while the keeper closed the lid. Now I am explaining these explanations of these few passages. So you have known already the special wind of the four winds. The wind's name is, first wind's name is wind of Hilo. So the keeper of the winds called that special wind, and after that that wind came outside. That means here that is drifted out. That means came outside and tugged at the wind. Tugged means pulled. And all the children, they were shouting, they were very happy and shouting at the time, as by telling this one, the kite soared like a great bird over the sea. So at that time, keeper stood silently and looked on with a smile. Flying kites looked at the flying kites, and at that time, keeper of the winds told all the children, "That's enough for today. The wind should not be taken for granted. So you will not accept this wind as in a careless manner. So it should not be taken for granted. When you will think, you will call wind, wind will come. That will not be happened. There are some rules, you have to maintain these rules. That means, and they will respect. What is the rules? They will respect you if you respect them. The children will respect the wind if the wind respect them. That is the condition. And after few minutes, the keeper of the winds called the wind back, and the wind the woman removed the lead from Ipulki, and keeper of the winds removed the lead from Ipulki, and the winds returned inside the gourd, and the kite slowly dropped on the ground, and Maui reeled in the line, reeled again, and caught the wind and went back home with his friend, while the keeper closed the lead. So that is that was happened that day. Then, but Maui was not content. He had seen how high his kite had gone, and he now wondered just how much higher it could fly. The next day, Maui and his friends took the great kite and went back to the cave of the winds. O keeper of the winds, bring out Ipunui, god of the four great winds, cried out Maui. The wind of Ipulki were enough, Maui, she replied. Don't you remember what I said to you? You must respect the winds, especially the four great winds. But I am strong as the four great winds, said Maui, and he began to chant. O four great winds, mighty as the gods, wind from the gourd of everlasting winds, come from Ipunui. Strong winds, churning winds, hasten and come to me. So after that day, next day, Maui was not content, was not satisfied, because he desires more. So what happened? He again went to in the entrance of cave of the keeper of the winds, or cave of the winds, and called her, O keeper of the winds, and bring out another wind, that is Ipunui, second wind of four great winds. And because he was not satisfied, and the keeper of the winds once again recalled him, always remember what I said last day, what I said to you last day. What he said, what she said, you are remembering that. What she said to the children, the children must respect the wind if the wind respect them. That is the condition. The wind should not be taken for granted. That has been said by the keeper of the winds to the children, and she also recalled him. So here, but Maui was not satisfied. Maui told, I am strong as the four great winds. And he began to chant. So he was overconfident on his power. So he told like that, and that's why again keeper of the winds started to call that winds. Oh, four great winds, mighty as the god, you are as powerful as the god. Wind from the gourd of everlasting winds, come from Ipunui. Strong winds, churning winds. Churning means moving round and round rather violently. Hasten, very fast, you come to me. that has been said by Keeper of the Winds. Let's move on at page number 43. There are few words, word meaning you have to know. Struggling vainly, trying without success, raged, blew forcefully. Now I am reading these passages. From inside the cave came a mighty roar. The keeper ran towards the entrance, but she was too late. The north wind and east wind pushed her over and snatched the kite from the hands of Maui's friends. Maui's kite was swept far out over the sea. He laughed with delight when he saw how far his kite had gone, and at the keeper, who was struggling vainly to put the lead back on Ipunui. Then the west wind and south wind howled out of the gourd and knocked it from the woman's hands. The kite went as high as the cord was long, and then it tugged fiercely at the cord. The cord began to hum in the wind, and the kite disappeared into the darkening clouds. Thinking that he was in control, Maui called out, "O wind, mighty as the gods, return to Ipunui." But of course the winds were beyond his control. They raged stronger and stronger until the cord attached to the kite snapped with a mighty crack. Maui almost fell backwards. The kite sailed away over the mountain, never to be seen again. So through these passages, you are knowing repeatedly Maui tried to call because Maui was not satisfied. That's why he called again this air, wind. So they are became very furious, these winds, north wind and east wind. So they snatched the kite from the hands of Maui's friends, and by seeing this picture, Maui was at that time was very happy, and he expressed his joy because he saw how far his kite had gone. But the keeper knows what will be happened. He tried to control this air, but all the winds, they are started to roar, to hum. Hum means roar. They produced a humming sound, and after that the kite disappeared into the darkening clouds, and these winds became out of control. So let's see, now the kite sailed away over the mountain, never to be seen again. So come to the page number 44. Here some few words are there, that is scurrying, running in quick, short steps, coaxing, persuading somebody to do something by talking in a kind and gentle way, scowled, frowned. Now let's read these passages. The winds continued to rage over the entire island. A heavy rain sent people scurrying in all directions. The winds had proved who was stronger. At last, the keeper of the winds pounced on Ipunui and took it back to the cave. She worked all through the night, gently coaxing the winds back into the gourd. Finally, the storm ended. People started calling Maui he who brought the great storm. His friends looked the other way when Maui came to visit. Finding himself alone with nothing to do, Maui built another kite. It was smaller than the first. He flew it near his home when there was no one else about. He would tie the kite to a rock and study its movement in the sky. Soon he could tell when the weather would be fine or stormy. One day he noticed some men going off to the fields. "It will rain today," called out Maui. "Tomorrow will be a better day to work in the fields." Through these passages, it is told the winds proved the strongest of all the things on earth, and the proved that one who was stronger. That is, before Maui said he was as strong as the winds. That's why the winds proved that, and Maui got his punishment. But though he got punishment, he did not give to make another kite, and he built another kite, and that was smaller than the first. And Maui just noticed what will be the movements of the kite in the sky, and he was able to tell the weather would be fine or stormy. And he noticed some men going off to the fields. He foretold about the weather, and he was capable about that. And after that, all the men just started to believe him. Next, the men just scowled at him, but soon it did begin to rain, and the men came running back to the village, looking in amazement at Maui. Another day, Maui warned a group of women that their clothes would be blown away from the drying place, because his kite told him that there would be a storm that day. Later, they were out in the yards chasing their clothes, which were blowing about in the storm. In time, the village people began to depend on Maui and his kite. He taught them how to tell from the dancing movements of the kite which days would be good for planting or fishing or drying clothes. People now started calling him teacher of the weather. Even the keeper of the winds no longer shunned him, and Maui had learned his lesson. Never again did he call for the winds of Ipulki or Ipunui. So in these passages, the men in this way gradually believed Maui. At first, the men scowled at Maui. Scowled means front. But soon it did begin to rain. The foretelling that was happened really, and after that, they believed Maui. Another day, Maui warned a group of women their clothes would be blown away from the drying place, and that was happened really. In this way, gradually, Maui achieved their belief. All the peoples believe, and the village people began to depend on Maui and his kite, because the kite was able to just warn all the people, and Maui in that way foretold everyone. So because of that, everyone believed Maui, and after that, all people started to call him teacher of the weather, and even keeper of the winds never longer believed him, and Maui had learned his lesson. What was his lesson? I have explained, and after that, he never called that winds of Ipulki and Ipunui. They became very ferocious. So all the things were in your control, but if you misuse that one, then that will not be in your control. That will be out of control. So always remember, always control your desire, and when desire will be increased, then your mistakes also will be just increased. That is the lesson. That is a moralistic lesson. So that's why it is called a fable, and this fable is taken from a Hawaiian legend. It is called a Hawaiian legend. So that is the story. Okay, thank you.